Like, if you actually think about it, you know how much your life would change if you wouldn't have the stress to think about how much profit is left this month? Knowing that if you do increase ad spend, you'll probably have the fear of creating diminishing returns, which then puts you in a fucked spot not knowing what to do. You know how much your life would improve if you wouldn't have to manage a massive sales team or a massive team in general, knowing that you can just have 3 A players to make $500,000 a month in profit. You know how much your life would change if you start to be proactive instead of reactive in your marketing? Instead of leveraging push marketing, where you constantly follow the data that the lead is presenting. So if you do push marketing like a VSL funnel, any direct form of marketing, you let the lead follow a path you have created that isn't even 100% optimized. You gather data from that path and you make re-improvements to that funnel, which is great, awesome, right? If you want to be one step behind the customer, you should do that. Meaning, you're always betting on the fact of creating profitability. But as long as you increase the volume, you'll probably make a slight amount of profit. Instead, what you can do is you can leverage pool marketing. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about how you build an ecosystem that builds itself. Let me give you 2 examples. There are 2 different AIs. One AI is self-learning and one AI needs data to constantly be improved. Now, I'm going to explain you how to go from having an AI that you constantly need to feed with data for it to improve to an AI that is self-learning, okay? And I'm not going to talk about AI because I don't have anything to do with AI, but I do going to explain you this about how to do this in marketing funnels. So not only will you be able to save yourself more time, you'll be able to create so much more fucking profit with a leaner team, more efficiency, right? Same as an example is DM closing. How much money or how much inputs do you need to do to make $20,000 a month in profit? Like, think about it, right? You will probably need to make $35,000 in revenue. You probably will need to sell to 7 different people for it to be able to happen. 5K offer. You probably need to have 2 sales closers, and you probably need to have 20 different sales calls. Not more, 40 different sales calls, because your CAC or your cost per acquisition, or let's say cost per book call is 1K. That is fucking crazy. It takes me 5 minutes to make 1 story, and it takes me 3 minutes to do 1 DM close. And when I say I do that, I'll make $20,000 in profit. Now, you have the responsibility to fulfill for 7 people. You have the responsibility to make sure that all these closures get paid out. You have the responsibility to know that you need to understand how much money is being left out of all that money you've spent on other people and on systems and on ads. Well, I just make $20,000 in profit in peace. That's the difference. Now you're asking yourself the question, but Nick, like, how is this scalable? And that is what I'm going to explain to you in today's video, because I have built a system. You have to understand, we're in a trust economy. We're moving towards DM closing. We're moving towards conversations. You have to think in decades. In the future, do you think that people will be attracted by a cold ad that they see on the internet? Or do you feel like that people will buy from brands, identity, people that they trust, instead of a random ad that guarantees them $100,000 in the first 2 seconds? Like, are you stupid? Do you even understand where the market is moving? The only reason why I'm on top of the market is because I know how the market is moving. And that's why I can predict it. That's the point. I predict, you follow. And because you follow, you will get the results that a follower deserves. I get the results that a leader deserves. That's why you know my marketing is so fucking good. That's the reason why you're listening to me in this video. You're listening because you know that the value that I'm providing you is true. Because it works for me. I'm my biggest own case study, my biggest own testimonial. And I get excited about this because everything that we do is self-learning, right? With our funnel. As an example, DM closing. You don't need massive friction and inefficiency within your sales process if you can just DM close. Now, for you to be able to DM close, you need to put the customer, the lead, in a certain state of mind to trust you so much to make a payment that solves most of your problems. Because most people do 20% in their marketing and 80% in their sales process. Very heavy selling. I do 80% in my marketing and 20% in the sales process. The people that get on calls with us, if they do get on a call in the first place, they're already sold. Easy. They're already sold. They don't need more information. They don't have any other objections. Maybe they have one question about the offer that isn't clear. Because I prevented people from having objections in the fucking first place. Most people that pay me don't have a clue about my deliverables. They just see the vision of me getting them to the next level. Do they know if they get exactly that one call on a Tuesday at 7 p.m.? No, they have no fucking clue. Do they know if they get that one golden nugget SOP? They don't fucking care, because they know that that is not what is going to get them to the next level. You want to be able to adapt your marketing to change people's behavior in having the ability to purchase your product. Because when you can figure that out, your life becomes so much fucking easier. And because we're moving to a trust economy where content is going to be the main conversion point, you want to leverage formats that stimulate that growth. Meaning, cold ad is extremely contradicting to it. It doesn't go in line, it doesn't fit perfectly. You see what I mean? And that is the biggest problem, because what you want to do is you want to find a system that is in line with that process. As an example, we run profile ads. We lead people to our profile because it's self-selling. Story sequences, it's self-selling. The start here funnel, it's self-selling. And when you continuously put your effort into creating something that is longer lasting, that is life lasting, it feeds itself and it improves itself. Because if I spend time on building a profile funnel, a start here funnel, or a story sequence funnel, it's still existing tomorrow. So it adds up. The conversion cycle is longer, but the longevity is longer. Whereas direct ads, there is no longevity to it. You turn it on or you turn it off. It works or it doesn't work. Maybe yes, you will see results quicker, but you will have linear growth that stagnates at a certain point and can drop to zero at one day when you stop your ads. Or you take your time for 2 to 3 months to build something powerful, to know that when your ads do stop for a minute, you have your brand that fucking sells forever. That when your sales team leaves you at a certain point, you know you have your marketing running all the fucking time. You know that if you do have some sort of lack of trust with certain people, you have a fucking audience of hundreds, thousands, hundreds of thousands of people like I have that trust you, that know you have the best delivery, that know you have the best service in the market. And that is exactly what separates me from most people. You have to think long-term for you to understand this mechanism, because if you don't, you will never be able to compete with me within 5 years from now. The reason I push this funnel and system, and the reason it works so fucking well, is because we are moving and in an economy where people change their decision making. So if you don't adapt into it, you're lost. I don't decide the path. I'm just here to make sure that I'm the first one who adapts to it. It's not that I invented or created fucking this strategy. It's like the market is moving into this behavior. I am building a solution around this behavior to make sure that people can solve their problems in that world. That's the only fucking thing I'm doing. And the reason why I succeed is because I'm the first one. And there's still room. There's still time. It's not saturated because it's so growing so fucking fast, and it's making the pivot. When the pivot is being made right now, something new starts. And you know this sentence, right? You know this. When you go to the gym for the fucking first time, you make the most amount of progress in the first 3 to 6 months. You'll make more progress, right? In comparison from when you're going to the gym from year 5 to 7. In comparison. Now, the difference here is you will never be bigger when you go to the gym, when you fucking go lifting, right? with your dumbbells in months 3 to 6. But you do create faster growth in these months compared to year 5 to 7. You see the difference? Even though in year 5 to 7, you're already big. You have your dream aesthetic, right? Your body, your dream aesthetic body you would ever desire to have. But from month 3 to 6, you build that foundation that you needed to constantly grow. And that is what you can do now. You can become that person with that aesthetic body that you want to have in 5 to 7 years from now. Or you can go to the gym, be inconsistent, take some fucking, creatine and fucking protein powder and shit, fucking work out, stop for a minute, do it again, and switch it around. So in 2 years, you'll be in the exact same spot. The inputs that you do today will matter for the long term because you constantly add 1% to your value. When you run something direct related, whether that's a funnel, whether that's marketing, whether that's copy, it can be gone the next day. It's the difference between a 9 to 5 and entrepreneurship. You won't make money as an entrepreneur the first day you start a company, but you add 1% to your business. You build something valuable that is still existing. If you start a 9 to 5, you'll make money tomorrow. But you trade your time for money. You don't build something life-lasting. And that is the biggest problem people have. I have a 30-minute Loom video where I explain my clients how to build such an ecosystem, because you need to have 3 different things. You need to have offer shells, marketing-driven purposes, as well as frameworks for copy to understand what to say to actually catch people's attention and know how to frame things to put people in a buyer state. I'm happy to send this over to you. Just send me a DM on Instagram and then I'll send it over to you, because I can't address how important it is to move towards this cycle of longevity where people starts to build actually something meaningful.